Hey everybody, before we get started, I just want to remind you that this episode is brought to you by our patrons like AutomusX and Bobby Meow. Thanks for your support, guys. If you like what we do and want to see us do more, please consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies. Thanks for your time. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is time once again to talk about Star Wars Legion by Fantasy Flight Games. Hey, remember how I said, the big X-Wing news kind of eclipsed everything for a little bit? Well, hey, guess what? Legion news is back, stronger than ever. It took them a few weeks, days, whatever you want to call it, but they did, in fact, announce the next block of Imperial expansions. So I am proud to say to you that we have just gotten the news that there will be the Boba Fett Operative expansion and the Scout Trooper Forces expansion, both of which are really interesting and I'm kind of excited about. We'll talk more about Boba in a second, but just in general, it's real good. Don't think there's anything else to get out of the way. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, so first off, Boba Fett is an Operative. So let's cover that real quick. They explain in the article that Operative is a new unit type. Yes, that's right. We introduced an entirely new class of unit that was not in the rules reference guide before Imperials even got their first Special Forces announced in Fieldable. I know, it's a little weird, but basically the way it seems is Operatives are like Commanders. You can only have a maximum of 2, but they are not the same as Commanders. They do come with command cards, as we can see in the spread, but it appears that the command cards only apply to themselves. It says in the article that Boba Fett can only issue orders to himself. So, it seems like this is a really neat way to handle those iconic, serious characters like Boba Fett, like, Chewbacca, like lots of other supporting cast members, without getting too, odd with the, why are these guys issuing orders and stuff? So, Boba Fett, as far as we know, cannot issue orders to anybody but himself, but he has a couple of neat tricks. Mostly his command cards seem like gadgets, but I wouldn't be surprised if his third one is like just a thing he does. But yeah, looking at it, that's definitely a thing you can do, is to pair operatives with commanders. So you could, like I said, I'm presuming Chewie will be an operative, so you can do like a Han and Chewie combo. With Boba Fett, you could obviously stick him with Veers, so you can save points, or you can stick him with Vader and basically eat a couple of Stormtrooper units to bring a serious powerhouse to the field. Speaking of powerhouse, let's break down what we can see about Mr. Boba Fett here. So, Boba looks like he's 140 points, maybe 148, but I'm guessing it's a round number with commanders, so probably 140. He's got 5 health, 3 courage, so he's got 1 less hit than, say, Leia, but he's got 1 more courage. He's less likely to be intimidated. He has a offensive surge to crit, and a defensive surge conversion, as well as a red defense dice. So, he hits hard, and it's hard to hit. Makes up for the fact that he's got smaller dice pools, obviously. And then he's got 3 speed. And you wonder, wow, this guy's got 3 speed. Yeah, because he's got his jetpack on. For keywords, that's why he has jump 2. So, in case you forgot, jump is a move where basically you take a movement action, which means since jump is also an action, I don't think you can do it twice in a row. But you take a movement action and you ignore height equal to your jump stat. So, Boba Fett can jump 2, which is real good. He's got Arsenal 2, which means he can use up to 2 of his attacks a turn. Also great. Then he's got the keyword Bounty, which, as far as we can tell, appears to be that after setup, place a victory token on an enemy commander or operative. If you defeat a unit with a victory token, you take the token and you get it again. So basically, Boba adds a dynamic victory condition. And as far, typically with FFG, U means this unit, so Boba has to get the kill, but that's really good. You can stick that, and obviously you'll be using him to battle it, so that's a great way to think about, oh man, I'm going to focus fire on this guy. He's also got a new defensive keyword, Impervious. You thought Uncanny Luck was cool, get a load of this. While defending, if the attack pool includes has Pierce X, roll X additional defense dice. So hey, you remember how Pierce lets you ignore defense dice? Impervious gives you an opportunity to ignore Pierce, kind of. Basically, it lets you roll extra defense dice, and if you hit him, you're likely to do that, which, considering this is Boba Fett, means it's very likely. He is very hard to hit with that Pierce, since there's no, ignore defense otherwise, which means that even with, your big old fat Darth Vaders or Luke Skywalkers coming up on him, he'll be hard to hurt, which I think is kind of funny, considering that at least George Lucas did his damnedest to ignore anything which could possibly resist lightsabers, and Boba Fett is not wearing his... Boba Fett doesn't typically wear Beskar at this point, but it's funny, because he also resists lightsabers a lot. Anyway, he's also got Sharpshooter 2, like Leia, so fuck your cover. And then he's got 3 attacks, 3 weapons on his card. His melee is Boot Spikes for 2 red, with no keywords, it's not as good as, say, lightsabers and stuff, but it's better than just punching people. Then he has Wrist Rocket, Sorry, I had to stare at the camera for a second there. Just think to yourselves, remember the phrase, watch those wrist rockets. Which is range 1 to 2, it's 2 black dice, and it's impact 1, and then he's got Fett's E3 carbine, which is pierce 1, real nasty, with 2 black dice at range 1 to 3. So you get an enemy in range, say, 2, you can drop a rocket on him for impact 1, which is good against light armor, and he's already got a hit to crit conversion, so, like, you're talking a real decent chance of hurting somebody, and then pierce 1, ignore defense die. So that means you're very likely to get a point minimum of scratch damage in on armored vehicles or high defense opponents. Real good stuff. Though none of these are immune to deflect, so if you're fighting Luke, watch out. And then we can see one of his command cards is ZX Flame Projector. It's Boba Fett, and basically while Boba Fett is activated, he gains a new weapon. He gets a range melee to 1. That's pretty cool. Flame Projector, which gives him 1 red die with Blast and Spray. So remember, spray means you add a die for every unit type. So, if you, say, are a group of troopers and you try and get in there and wail on Boba Fett, he can throw out his ZX Flame Projector and he gains the ability to not only kick you with his boot spikes, but also throw fire at you. And we've seen his other command card, but we'll get to that in a second. First, let's talk about the upgrades. So, there's a gear unit, which is like emergency something. I think it's a med pack. And it's like if you would be wounded, you can move wounds, it looks like, or something like that, and then you have to get rid of them. So it's not a full-blown medic, but it's a med pack. Then there is the elite upgrade Hunter, which lets you, while attacking a wounded trooper unit, during the roll attack dice, you gain an aim token. So basically, if your target is already bloodied and they're a trooper, you can go ahead and get an extra aim token. Real good against, say, enemy commanders. He's also got a second elite upgrade. I'm gonna guess that's probably the take cover one, and then Hunter will be another one that's in, like, Han Solo. Not sure. Spread left. Okay, so Han definitely has a gear upgrade, but he has a command upgrade, so maybe Hunter is unique to Boba, and then Emergency Med Pack is also in Han. Eventually, Hunter, I'm sure, will come. Like I said, I think that Chewie is likely as a Rebel operative, so that makes sense for him. But we'll see. Alright, let's move on to Fett's other command card, the Whipcord. So the Whipcord launcher is Boba Fett's 1-pip command card. It reads that basically when Boba Fett can perform moves while engaged with a unit that has 1 or more immobilized tokens, and then during Boba Fett's activation he gains a free action, choose an enemy trooper at range 1 and line of sight. He gains 2 immobilized tokens, 2 suppression tokens. Now the article's not 100% clear on what immobilized tokens do, but I'm guessing they mean you can't move. And maybe you shed them in, like, rally, like suppression, so you have a decent chance of, like, maybe you only shed 1. Maybe it's an action to, like, shed a token, so to ditch both your tokens, you won't move anyway. Given that Legion is time limited, I expect that that will be highly, I don't know, it'll be very critical in the right points, but obviously then, for it to work with Boba Fett, he only gets to do it once. He gets a free action on his turn, and then he can only slap 2 on a trooper at range 1. Though obviously the can perform move while engaged mean could, like, say you could get up to a tussle, you know, close in with your flamethrower, drop a big flame, oh, they didn't die, well now I'll pop Whipcord Launcher, and then I will just activate, immobilize, and suppress an enemy, and then just... don't ask me how he immobilizes and suppresses 6 guys. Don't ask me that. Anyway, it's a fun thing. I love that all of Fett's command cards are gadgets so far. We'll see what his last one is. And let's move on to the second announcement, which I'm super happy about. So second, we have the Scout Troopers announcement. Looking, you know, like they're doing their Charlie's Angels poses. So I don't know if I said this out loud, but this is pretty much exactly like I predicted, I think. Both with the way the Scout Troopers are work and just in general. So let's go through what we can see. They look like they're the same point cost-ish as the Rebel Commandos. Like, they're supposed to be, I think it's like 68 points. And these look like they're similar. That could be an O, or it could be an 68. Who knows? But they're 4 units, they're special forces, they've got 1 wound and 2 courage, they've got a white defense die because Scout Troopers do use lighter armor. But they do have defensive surge, probably because they're more aware that they're going to get their asses shot. They have the low-profile keyword, so they always have cover 1, and then if they're in any cover at all, they have cover 2. They have Scout 1, and they have Sharpshooter 1. So, basically kind of the same as Rebels again, but they only have 1 Scout, so they're not as mobile at the start. They've got heavy weapons, and they got elite, comms, gear, grenades, so on. There should be 2, by the way, if I didn't mention that. And their weapon choices are unarmed, obviously, for 1 black, and then they have the EC-17 hold-up blasters at range 1 to 2 for 2 black dice. So, a bit like the Rebel Fleet Troopers, which we'll probably be talking about soon. knowing FFG. These guys, they're not good at range. Now, we do know for sure, one, because we can see his mini, but also they mentioned there's a DLT-19X sniper trooper you can equip, probably as your heavy weapons team, but maybe in your regular unit you can equip it a bit like you use the DLT with the regular Stormies, like you're using him as kind of a sniper or a long-range suppressor anyway. The 19X will probably be like 4 and beyond, or maybe 3 to beyond, who knows. DLT is really 4. So that'll be cool, there'll probably be some impact on that. And then they also mentioned, and you can see it in the spread, that they will have a sonic charge saboteur. So, unlike the thermal grenades, this guy will set off sonic charges. We only see that it's got blast and arm and detonate, and we can't really see what that does. But yeah, it's a thing. We don't even see the dice, but we know it's out there. So, these guys are shorter ranged, but they pack a big punch. Now, unlike normal Imperial units, they don't have offensive surge. But they do have good dice. They have, like I said, you stick an extra guy in there, either your sniper or your charge man, your exploding man, dumbo man. And then you've got 10 black dice you can drop on. Alright? That's real good. It's real good, guys. Astonishing. Like, we're talking serious firepower. You thought 10 white dice with an offensive surge was good. Well, how about 10 black dice? That's probably got to be better. I don't know. I think the increase in hit signs is like 2 rather than, like, say 1 for a surge. Real nasty. But the problem is, obviously, then you're short-ranged, and you're only movement 2, and, you don't have, like, nimble, but you do have low profile. And we do know they come with duck and cover. So, hey, it's a thing. With Scout 1, I suspect you're going to use these guys to scoot around a lot. Basically, what I imagine is you're going to, because they got a gear slot, and you don't know what the gear for Special Forces is, but I bet it's environment gear. But basically, take your environment gear, glue it to your Scout Troopers, so they have unhindered, and then just have them ninja around the map, Oh, you think that barricade will stop me? No, I'm going to ninja over it and just drop, 8 to 10 black dice in your face. Alternatively, you could just run them as, Scout Snipers. You get 1 guy and 1 Sniper Magoo, and just pick people off at range. They'll probably be pretty good at that. Their lower range is going to hurt in some cases, but it'll help in others, as always, terrain. And that's really all we know about them. We don't know anything else. We can see they come with the, whatever the HQ comm upgrade is, and like I said, they come with duck and cover, which means you can take a suppression token to basically immediately go from light cover to heavy cover. It won't help you against enemies with high levels of sharpshooter, but it'll help you a little. And they also, like I said, they have a sharpshooter. Very effective at their close range, and we'll see how effective they are long range later, I guess. And there you have it, folks. That's the Boba Fett and Scout Trooper announcements, what we know, what we hope to know in the future. Really excited about this. Love Scout Troopers, gonna run lots of those, because I like snipers aesthetics. We'll also try out Boba Fett, because tools are fun. And we'll make lots of watch out for those wrist bracket memes, because everybody loves those. Alright, well, I'll let you guys go. Obviously, keep your eye out for whenever there's going to be the preview on Fleet Troopers. I don't know if there's much to clarify in that pack, but I guess we'll see the exact stats on their MPL Barrage. That'll be pretty interesting, because I think that's going to be pretty critical of those units. The next announcement should be another neutral pack, and then the next pack that's actually coming out after Fleet Troopers and Leia drop will be a neutral pack, so I don't know if there'll be a lot to do about that. I think they covered all 3 of the condition cards. I mean, another condition, the battle cards, one of which is a condition that'll come out. I'll be super excited for those to pop up. Shoot, I should have checked if those are in, Tabletop Simulator yet. I really want to try out with Minefield. Anyway, that'll probably be the next thing. I don't know if I'll do any news on that. It'll depend on what's actually coming out then. And otherwise, probably expect it to be a little quiet until we get closer, after the Fleet Troopers anyway, until we get closer to Han and Commandos, and then we'll have lots of fun stuff to talk about. Also, yeah, probably there'll be another announcement video about whatever the neutral expansion is next, and we'll see. So, as always, if you like this video, give it a like. Lets me know people are watching and they want to see more. If you have any comments, go ahead and leave those in the comment section down below. I usually get a couple comments out of my Legion videos. Love to see those. Love to engage with people about the tactics and strategies. Of course, if you're new here and have not already, please subscribe. But don't forget that bell for notifications. If you subscribe, that'll get you immediate access when our videos go public on YouTube. Also, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early. I have asked a question. I haven't gotten any feedback about if anybody would want to see these sorts of episodes as audio-only downloads for our lowest Patreon tier. That's $1 a month level, because audio hosting's not free. And we basically do that for loads of stuff, so I'm just curious if people will be interested in that. Not that I think some of these are that long. Anyway, move on. Don't forget, we also have a community Discord you can set up there and blah, blah, blah. And obviously, I know Legion's got a very healthy Discord, but, if you hang out in the channel, you can obviously get a hold of me and some other people, maybe do some TTS games and stuff. We also talk about other things. If anybody wants to play some Age of Rebellion, get a campaign together, maybe. Remember? And of course, we also have our merch through Teespring. For the month of May, we are running a promo. Enter the promo code MOREMAY, you get 5% off our goods. That's also a really good way to support us. And yes, people have actually bought our shirts, so our shirts exist out there. Anyway, I'll let you guys go. I've taken enough of your time with this announcement. I always say that. But it's true. I feel like I have taken enough of your time. And we have lots of other videos you can click or tap on that should be showing up somewhere about now in the end card, if you want to have me take up more of your time. I will see you guys in the next video, whenever that is. Thank you for your time. And, yeah, watch those wrist rockets.